Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to test my external microphone. So what I'm going to do is walk away very far, and if the microphone is working, then I think my voice should be picked up by it instead of the built-in microphone on the iPad. So that is what I am doing, but right now I want to talk about my struggles with social anxiety. So, as you can see, I'm already wearing headphones that aren't on uh, to reduce social anxiety. So, it all started back in high school, and I used to be a very confident, outgoing person, and then there was a series of events in high school that just led me to be even more withdrawn and isolated and socially anxious. And over the years, by the time I was in 12th grade and I was going to a school where I did not know anybody and I did not have any friends, uh, nobody would try to talk to me or interact with me or befriend me. And I would do my best to try to talk to others, but I never really made any friends. So, ever since that point in time, I feel like I've been living in this, alternate dimension where the socialization is not the same as I remember it when I was a teenager, before the paranoia and the stalking and the conspiracy was happening to get me into trouble. So I definitely think it contributed to my social anxiety, because late elementary school through middle school and ninth and 10th grade, I was very confident and outgoing. I did not have a lot of social anxiety. I don't really care what people think of me during those times of my life, but I perceive it as me being a lot more outgoing and not having a lot of social anxiety. I feel like I could start a conversation with anybody, and I switched schools, and I went to three different high schools basically. So, and because of the conspiracy and the anxiety and the paranoia and unfortunate life circumstances, I find myself today being just very confused by everything that happened. And as far as my mental health goes, it's impossible to really live without taking medication. I go to therapy. I've been going to therapy every week now for over a month, um, almost 2 months, I'd say. So it doesn't really help as much as I want it to help. I wish, I want to get life-changing results going to therapy. He is helpful, but not therapy really. If I'm in therapy and I'm telling him about the conspiracy, the harassment of myself, because I was accused of harassment, and there was no such harassment. I was the one being harassed, you see. So this is why it's very frustrating for me. And with the biotechnology conspiracy, I want to be as as nice as possible, nice and friendly as possible, so I can. They tell me, according to the biotechnology conspiracy, they tell me that if I'm very nice and friendly, then I will achieve the beauty and the male aesthetics, the attractiveness that I want. I thought taking steroids would give me a glow up, give me a more masculine face, with better jawline, better cheekbones, like a glow up basically. So, but according to this conspiracy, they are controlling my bodily autonomy in ways that I don't understand, but I do know it is occurring. So, for example, I they can change the way my face looks and stuff. I don't want to be the incel meme. I don't want to be the beta male meme from Dom Mazzetti. I want to be like very confident, physically attractive. I care more about being physically attractive, and I don't know what steroids to take because most people who take steroids they achieve sort of a glow up, right? Not all of them, but there are advantages to facial aesthetics for taking steroids. So yeah, I guess I'm just very unhappy with the way I look, and it's very plain and very boring. I wish I had like the detail, and I wish I had like less gear face and the chiseled features. I see a lot of other steroid users, or not even steroid users, but people that are just genetically attractive or do a lot of mewing, or teenagers that did a lot of mewing and continue to do the mewing to change their facial bone structure. So yeah, it's really, I always wanted to be perfect. I don't think, I did not anticipate, I had better glow up with taking SARMs and steroids as far as masculine facial aesthetics. So that's really what I want. That's really what I'm pursuing. And it's hard for me to even look at myself on the camera without getting down and depressed and thinking, oh, I don't look good enough. I used I used to look way more attractive just a couple years ago. What exactly happened? The gear. I didn't realize that you know they're using biotechnology to make me ugly. I don't think it was the gear. I think it was a combination of factors, but really, I really want to be happy with the way my face looks and everything else about my body image. So it doesn't really contribute to social anxiety as much nowadays. But I will say that when I go out into public and I see a guy who's very good looking, I get very emotional. I get this feeling. I can't identify the emotion or the feeling, but I don't know. It makes me think like, where did I go wrong? Because I wrote this out years ago about how I wanted to glow up, how I want to glow up and transform my face and body into, you know, to look amazing, to look even better. So I really don't know what to do. If I should just stop taking steroids and see if my face will improve, but I just don't understand why the conspiracy does not want me to feel happy about the way I look. You know, they have this ability, the biotechnology conspiracy to have this ability to change the way my body looks and how it functions. And I don't think they're being very nice to me. They're not being very nice to me. They're not being very benevolent. So I really want the conspiracy to use everything in their power to make me make my face and body as physically attractive as possible. That's really how I know that I'll have a good relationship with God, because it seems to be out of my control. And I started hoarding and taking these hormones, a lot of steroids and hormones, to counteract what I thought that the biotechnology was doing to myself, because I couldn't figure it out, besides it making me uglier, making me look a way that I do not want to look and never wanted to look. So I'm a little bit confused, and I would really like to figure out how I can, come to terms with the conspiracy, the biotechnology conspiracy, to make me as attractive as possible. Like, I'm very friendly and nice. I want to be as friendly and nice as possible. So they will make me as beautiful as possible, is the reasoning. So, let's make it happen. Let's make a deal. Let's make it happen. I don't like fighting. I don't like, calling people names, putting people down, using codes and messages to communicate. I sent a bunch of mean Facebook messages during COVID because I was taking drugs, and I was off my medication. It happens every time, but I don't think I should be punished for the rest of my life because of it. I'm very sorry. I want to see myself as being, the Chad meme. I don't want to be the incel meme, because I messaged Alex, and when I was very upset, and I told him some very mean things about him being the incel meme and I'm the Chad meme. And, I think they've been trying to make me uglier to, like, do the opposite of what I told him. So, like, if I say something mean to him, then whatever mean thing I say to him is going happens to me. And that's what I'm very upset about, because there's not enough time in my life to hold a grudge or to be angry with Alex in particular. So I really just want to make a deal and agree with the biotechnology conspiracy to make me as physically attractive as possible in many ways, and to give myself lots of other things that I want. So if I have to stop taking steroids, then I don't know. It's a very hard decision to make, but just the fact that I'm really just losing so much facial aesthetics, like one big thing is breathing out of my nose so I can mew. I want to breathe out of my nose 24/7 so I can mew and gain progress. I lost a lot of progress. I very specifically typed in Word documents and journals, Google documents, uh, about how I want to glow up, how I want to become more physically attractive, and that was 3 or 4 years ago, and I didn't reach my goal. I actually got worse. So it's very upsetting because it's not very nice for someone to sabotage my success when I've never sabotaged anyone else's success. The most you can accuse me of doing, not even accuse, because I'm not going to play defensive, but besides, the mean Facebook messages saying things to Alex about he's the incel meme, I'm the Chad meme. That was, among other things, it's very disappointing that I make those decisions, but it's very disappointing that, there would be a conspiracy to try to sabotage my life and my happiness just because of who I am and what I say and what I do, which has been going on since high school. So it's very alarming. It's pretty much the definition of some of how it's described in the book as a psychopath will try to destroy someone's life. Well, guess what? I'm not a psychopath. I've never tried to destroy anybody's life, so I don't expect anybody to destroy my life, except that seems to be happening as far as lack of results with work and education and finances and physical attractiveness. I really wish that I could succeed in, you know, get a stay hired at a job and make a lot of money and become more attractive instead of less attractive over time. So that's really all I gotta say, I think, for right now. And I'm definitely gonna keep working on it. I work on it a lot. I want to work on it even more because I'm unhappy with the results that I am getting. So, in asking the biotechnology conspiracy to help me get the results that I want, I also have to put the work and the time in as far as the different aspects that I'm working on with, mewing and skincare and penis enlargement and bodybuilding and tanning and all this stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to end the video here now, just before it reaches 20 minutes.